finally got tied with the most fearful mafia king Kim Taehyung for the rest of her life, but had no idea how she would spend her life with him when she was scared of him. She heard about him a lot, and the only image was created in her mind that he was a cruel, heartless man and she couldn't go against him or make him angry. I announced you as a husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Her veil finally uncovered her face by him, and he looked at her intensely for a couple of minutes. She couldn't meet his unreadable eyes and looked down. Soon her breath sucked when he surrounded her waist with his arm and pulled her too close as if he owned her. "You're looking gorgeous, Mrs. Kim," he whispered before gently pressing his lips on her cheek, yet near her lips for a good second, and scooted away, but still her eyes were lowered that he smoked playfully. "You are shy with just a peck, then how do you handle me?" She looked at him with shock and fear, that he chuckled and held her hand with authority. "Mom, now can we go back home? Don't be too excited, my son. Reception is still left," she teased while Wayne was biting her lower lip not to prevent herself from crying, and looked at her father, who literally sold her without her permission to fulfill his debt. As the couple reached the mansion, Taehyung took her in his arms like a bridal style, and Wayne let him since she had no courage to even talk to him. Her hand was holding his coat and another arm around his neck for safety. Reaching the bedroom, he gently made her sit on the bed edge and stood beside her closely, that Wayne had to shift a bit, being scared. She didn't want anything when she had no idea about him beside his name and scary attitude. "Now you can remove your heels. I know you are not comfortable in them." He noticed she tripped a few times, and Wayne removed the high heels which bruised her legs. Seeing it, Taehyung went to the washroom while Wayne breathing heavily, being scared. "Should I lock the door from outside? But if he gets angry?" No. She gulped down, recalling how he tortured her father to cheat him, and because of that, she was with him right now to save her father. "I can't let him do anything. This is my right. My consent matters." She was gaining her courage when Taehyung came back with a first aid kit and held Wayne's foot while kneeling in front of her. "What are you doing?" "Help, but shh." His blank eyes and her mouth got shut easily. Placing her foot on his thigh, he gently applied the ointment on her bruises, and Wayne looked at him surprised. "He's confusing me." He did the same with another foot carefully and looked at his wife, who immediately averted her gaze hesitantly. Then a smile came across his face. "You'll feel better now." Getting up, he removed the coat and opened his necktie, yet his eyes were on Wayne, who was gulping down, thinking what was coming next. "I'm getting fresh. You can change yours too. In closet, everything arranged for you." He showed the walk-in closet, and not wasting time, Wayne immediately made her way inside, not forgetting to close the door behind. She felt safe there even for some moments and looked around. Everything was available for her, but to her surprise, it was according to her taste. She took a night suit and changed into it. "I don't want to go outside." She sat on the couch lazily, and like that, half an hour passed when she heard the knock on the door. "Are you alright, Wayne?" "Yeah." "Then why not you coming out?" She had no option left but came out of the room. A gasp escaped from her mouth when Taehyung held her in his arms to lay her on the bed and joined her too. "Now can we?" "I don't want it," she immediately declared while placing her palms over his chest to maintain the distance. "I know, I was just saying that. Now can we talk?" "About what?" "That my wife shouldn't be scared of her husband." Her moistened eyes looked at him, and tears dropped from her eyes, which she was holding back. Taehyung gently wiped it with his fingers and cupped her face. "I'm aware I don't have a good image in your eyes, but the scary mafia, it is only a part of my business, and I'm just a normal human being for my beloved ones." His thumb brushing her cheek gently without breaking the eye contact. but I want to erase this image of mine from your mind and will create a different one. Why? I'm just an object you bought. Don't hurt me. He wiped again her falling tears, which was aching his heart, and pulled her closer with his arms despite her wiggling attempts. You are not an object, but my lawfully respected wife, a woman I fell in love with at first sight. She looked at him surprised with big eyes. The man she thought was going to use her as an object was in love with her. I never wanted to get married at first place, but when I saw you at the first time, I lost my mind and wanted you all for myself. I know you will hate me for the rest of your life if I hurt your father, and that moment I just came with that idea to make you mine without getting hate from you. She was listening him calmly. I may be a scary mafia, but I can promise I'll turn out the best husband who is caring and loving for his wife. I understand, but I need time to adjust. You can take your time. I can wait. She was surprised with his personality because the man was totally opposite she heard about him, and because of his genuine eyes, she was confident that she could trust that man. Now, let's sleep. Placing a soft kiss on her forehead, he turned his back to her when he wanted cuddles, while he looked at his back with the first heartbeats as her story turned into a fairy tale when she thought of a nightmare. I think he's a turning point of my cruel life. Being an unwanted child to a wanted wife was nothing but a big turn of her life, and she wanted to give this marriage a chance with her whole heart. She was in her thoughts when a thunderstorm struck. No, why it's happening? The fear faded a few minutes ago because of her husband was now coming back, and she covered herself with the warm comforter tightly. Noticing the movement behind his back, Taehyung looked behind and saw his scared wife. Don't be scared, I'm here. He brought her in his arms and Wine hugged him tightly while Taehyung stroked her back. She felt safe all of a sudden the way he was treating her gently. Calm down. He kept saying soothing words while massaging her back to make her feel secure with him until he heard her soft snores. He smiled while closing his eyes too and slept with her peacefully. With the time, the efforts of Taehyung got appreciated as Wine understood that no one could love her the way her husband do, and with growing love she accepted him with her whole heart.